the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tom Alexander, and this is the RV Advisor Podcast. Today, I am joined by Dan Ball from the Family Motor Coach Association. That's the FMCA. And Dan is the Director of Membership and Marketing. Dan, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's really great to have you. And you're out in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And how are things overall there with everything going on here globally that we all are keenly aware of and probably exhausted discussing?
Well, like everybody else, we're just kind of trying to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
It's been an adjustment, but I think we've been able to handle it pretty well. Most of our staff is working from home, which always presents new challenges, especially when you break the routine that you're used to. But we've been able to stay open. We've been able to help members. Even through this virus situation. So, we're grateful for that, and we're grateful that we can still work and help our members and all things considered, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah. The we've been hearing that. That's been a sort of a recurring theme. It's interesting because like gratitude in particular has come up a lot on this show. In this past couple of months, I think we all tend to move at warp speed under normal circumstances. And when something like this comes along, it gives you pause to think and take inventory and all those things to sort of say, hey, how can we adjust and what's really important and how's the next guy doing and how's everybody, how are we going to get through this together as a team? And it just seems like that's been like I said, a pretty recurring theme. I'm looking at the, you've got this association that's for travelers and RVers nationwide, but you shared with me offline that in 2017 there was a pretty dramatic shift that you sort of, where you were able to accommodate a lot more towables and other things.
Yeah, so FMCA began in 1963, and so for 50 plus years we were an organization of Class A, B, and C motor coaches only. But as manufacturing and popularity of those has kind of declined, and the travel trailers and the fifth wheels and the towables and things like that have become nicer and more popular and more economical. It became painfully obvious that we were excluding a market that is an RVer just like anybody else. They want to go camping. They need tire maintenance and new tires, and they need roadside policies, and they want to learn the ins and outs of their RV just like anybody else. So we actually opened up in December of 2017 to allow all types of RVs into the organization.
Yeah.
It's admittedly it was a learning curve for us. We're still learning new things every day, but we want people to know that sometimes even though we're 2.5 years or so removed from that decision, sometimes folks still don't know. So we definitely want people to be aware of that.
Yeah, and you can go to the FMCA.com to learn more about everything that you do there at the Family Motor Coach Association, and all the great things that are offered, and I guess connect with folks on the team there, right?
Yeah, so we offer so many different things for so many different people. A new buyer might want to know the mechanics of their RV or the electrical or the plumbing system, which is why education's so big in what we do. Obviously people need roadside assistance policies. Things, as much as we don't want them to, things do happen when you're out on the road, and you want to know that you're taken care of and you've got a network of folks that you can call and rely on. We have a FMCA Assist program, which is a medical evacuation program that's actually included with the membership. So that's if you're out traveling and you become ill or injured and you're unable to travel, this program will help arrange to get your RV home, your pets, any dependents, things like that. And then, of course, if maybe you're in an area that's a little bit isolated, and the hotel facility, or hospital there isn't adequately apt to treat you, this program will help arrange and pay for that transportation to an adequate facility. So anybody who's had to seen the bill on a helicopter ride or an ambulance ride knows just how valuable that program can be. And then, of course, we put out a monthly magazine with insider, with tips and DIY and trends and things like that. So, and we have a tire savings program, which can save you hundreds on tires. About 30 benefits or so that are specifically geared towards helping RVers in their travels.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more to learn. We want to talk to Dan about and find out some of the inner workings of what goes on there at the FMCA. And we're going to take a quick break, Dan, and we'll be back right after these words. This is the RV Advisor Podcast.
RV owners, it's no secret that those manufacturers' warranties just don't cut it. Get the peace of mind you deserve and step up to the RV Advisor Extended Warranty Plan. Visit thervadvisor.com or call 833-229-0911. That's 833-229-0911. Back
on the RV Advisor Podcast, my name is Tom Alexander. Our guest is Dan Ball from the FMCA, and he is the Director of Membership and Marketing there, and they're based in, he's based in Cincinnati. Is that where the company is
yes, sir.
Based?
Cincinnati,
all right.
Ohio.
Yeah, Cincinnati, and maybe offline we can talk about if the baseball season comes back, how the Reds are looking this year.
They spent a lot of money, so let's hope hopefully it translates to wins.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to see the game itself just come back. I'm a huge baseball fan, and it's I grew up actually, although not a fan of the team per se, but I certainly remember the Big Red Machine, probably a little before your time, but those Morgan, Bench, Perez, Rose, Griffey years, and George Foster and all those guys that you probably heard about from your parents or something.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah,
I didn't get to witness them, but I've heard plenty of stories.
Oh man, let me tell you, that was a team to behold. Really, unbelievable. Anyway, back to RVs and everything else. We know that there's other travel clubs out there, but what's the distinction? What makes your organization different? What kind of sets you apart?
So we I think what sets us apart, and those other organizations, they do plenty of good things as well, but I think what sets us apart is our education. That's kind of what we've how do you say, that's kind of what we what started us, why we started.
Yeah.
Was just to number one, educate RVers, not only about their particular RV, but we have advocacy groups that help fight for their rights, whether it be a parking issue or whatever the case may be. We put on 2 big events per year, an RV Expo. We refer to them as our international conventions. But these are, they're a social gathering, but they're also an educational gathering. We have seminars, we have exhibitors, we have display units. We put on 2 courses just days prior to the convention. One's our RV Basics course, which is a 2.5-day classroom covering everything, just like it sounds, covering the basics of your RV.
Yeah.
We've also partnered with the folks over at the RV driving school to do actually a hands-on driving course prior to convention. And folks can use their own RV and they can get comfortable backing and driving forward and maneuvering without the pressure of cars zooming by you and full hookups to watch out and not run over. So I think that's what, in my mind, that's what sets us apart, is the vast array of educational opportunities we offer.
Yeah. And really that's such a critical part of all of this, because if, whether you're a new RVer who needs to kind of really go to school, so to speak, on how to handle these kinds of things that may come along, and just the general maintenance and, everything to expect on the road, or a veteran RVer, things are always changing too. Things are always shifting. It's not staying in one place. Obviously, it's evolving as an industry. The RVs themselves are evolving, and more computerized, items on board that you have to deal with on a fairly regular basis. And it's like, hey, how does this work? And some people, maybe they get a little bit, I don't know, a little spooked by technology as it starts to pass them. I know I sometimes feel like that when I'm trying to get the TV to work. I used to be real sharp with that stuff and I could get everything going. And at one point, and I don't know when, the technology sort of like, kind of passed me by. I'm trying. I sometimes have to rely on my son's expertise, but all kidding aside, there is a lot to digest with the newer units and everything. So, that education that you're talking about is really critical. Folks can kind of go to school, so to speak, on things.
Yeah, I mean, we like to say it's priceless.
Yeah.
When I started with FMCA a little less than 6 years ago, I didn't even know what a slide out was.
Yeah.
Of course, I know now, and I know that they can have issues and mechanical problems and things like that. Not to mention, all the other systems trying to work in harmony in your RV. So the more you can know about them, the better you can, the more relaxed and you can be and actually enjoy why you bought the RV, which is to travel and enjoy life.
A lot of moving parts, and like you said, you've been with them for 6 years now. What were you doing? What were you doing prior to that?
I actually was completely different. I was an operations manager for a small machine shop.
Oh, okay.
So, then came on with FMCA as the project manager back in September of 2015.
Great. That's terrific. And so you've, I'm sure over the last 5 to 6 years, you've had to absorb an awful lot to kind of stay present, stay current with everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, business is always, we use the word evolve a lot on this show, and it's constantly evolving. In the RV industry, particularly, in this COVID-19 era, is an industry that it appears that, will ultimately flourish, because I think people are rethinking about their getaways, so to speak. Maybe they're a little less inclined to fly somewhere, but in an RV, it's a lot more self-contained, right? And secure.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I'm no expert. I don't know how this is all going to ultimately shake out, but I certainly hope, and I've heard those same kind of rumblings that this is going to be a good thing for ultimately going to be help the RV industry. As you alluded to, folks aren't going to be nearly as ready to fly or go on a cruise, and when you think that when you can pack the family and your dog in an RV and just set out, and you don't have to pay for a hotel and don't necessarily have to eat out at a restaurant, why not? Makes sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as you can see, and as I can see, we're in our own homes here, and we're talking from our own homes. But do you get a chance to get out on the road and spend some RV time, or are you under normal circumstances mostly in the office?
Well, I do get to travel a little bit for work. On most days, I'm in the office. I've had the opportunity to go to quite a few different RV shows, and then of course I go to ours when we put them on throughout the country as well. I enjoy travel, but I actually don't have an RV. It's a funny story. Before I started with FMCA, my wife said to me, just kind of unofficially, I guess we'll say, she said, when we retire, maybe we should get an RV and travel the country and sell the house. And I thought, people don't do that. I know people don't live out of their RVs full time, but they absolutely do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that concept was completely foreign to me. So, who knows? Maybe we'll get an RV one of these days.
Yeah.
It's intriguing for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, it is intriguing. And, I'm with you. I live here brick and mortar, in my home. But, as I've gotten closer and closer to this industry, I mean, I'm a broadcaster, but I'm not, they brought me in as a broadcaster, not as an RV expert. And I'm very, very frank about that. I'm candid about it's like, look, guys, probably 98% of the viewership on this show knows more about RVs than I do. And it's okay, because I'm really kind of acting as I'm learning, and I'm trying to act as the liaison between people who are enthusiasts and industry people and the layperson, the person that's just like, hey, maybe they're like us. They don't own an RV and they're thinking about an RV, and hey, how can I get into this? I'm starting to I watch that podcast, and it's like I'm hearing from this person in Cincinnati, and this other person in Denver, and another person in Seattle, and they're telling me about this, that, and the other. And wow, it's really piquing my interest. And the thing is, I learn along with the viewers and the listeners, and it's been it's been a great journey, because it's something that I'm genuinely, and I wasn't aware that I would be necessarily interested in it. I'm really interested in it, because I find it's a fascinating community. The people are great. We've had just tremendous conversations with people, and the kinds of things they do. And RVs are really acting now, Dan, as basically isolation units for a lot of people on the front lines fighting the COVID virus. And so they're not, this ain't your father's RV, so to speak. It's really become something quite special.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're really trying to, look at it that way and sort of bring, the latest information we can and what's going on. One more thought, the FMCA, obviously we're here in the COVID era, and we're trying to sort of, like you said earlier, it's a little uncharted for all of us, kind of trying to power through. What do you feel like, do you have anything set, sort of something your sights set on, either this year or next, that some things you want to add and different programs and different services that you're thinking of maybe including in the future of the organization?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of different initiatives going now, and some that are going to start in the future. First and foremost, we want to expand what we can offer on the education front.
Yeah.
Right now, members have access to what we call our FMCA University, and it's a catalog of all the different technical articles that our magazine has produced over the years. There's close to 700 articles in there. If you're interested in tires or exterior maintenance or the plumbing system, whatever the case may be, you can visit the FMCA library and search for that particular topic. Read from experts about that topic. And then you actually can even kind of have some fun with it and take quizzes and earn badges and different things like that as you progress. And there's different levels and different rewards that we offer and things like that. We want to expand on that. And that's actually something we're working on right now, is to kind of bring an online style curriculum as part of the FMCA University, just take it to the next level. And then of course we're always looking for, new and exciting benefits. We talked about how we opened up to travel trailers back in December 2017. One of my big initiatives right now is trying to bring on a tire, a tire provider specific to travel trailer tires. We have our FMCA tire savings program that's really, really popular, but it doesn't necessarily have trailer tires at the moment. So that's one of my big initiatives, is to try and find somebody who can provide, this new market that we've entered, the kinds of tires that they need while they're traveling. So just to continue to bring on new and exciting benefits.
Well, that sounds fantastic, and certainly wish you the best with all those initiatives and getting through this this challenging new environment that we're all in. All of us are in, and it sounds like you guys are doing a great job with that. And one more time for the folks, let them know where they can find you.
Best thing to do is go to www.fmca.com.
There you go, fmca.com. And that is the Family Motor Coach Association. Our guest has been their Director of Membership and Marketing, Dan Ball, from Cincinnati, Ohio, one of the great cities in the United States.
Go Reds.
Yeah, go Reds. There you go. Well, for me, I got to say go Phillies, but that's a different story. Another show. Right. But no, we'll keep an eye on your Reds if baseball does indeed start up again this year. Very best to you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It was fun.
This is the RV Advisor Podcast. I'm Tom Alexander. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.